should be live.
Hey,
And if we're not, I'm talking to myself.
uh,
But hey, everybody, it's been a while. We haven't done this in a long time.
the boys are back.
We are back. Let me turn so I can hear you again. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I should see if it's even coming through. Um, let's go to YouTube. Easiest way to find out is actually go to my channel. Oh, your channel. You think I would know how to do this? Oh, the button that says view your channel. Oh, it does. It says live. Yep. Easiest way to find out
We
is
are
actually go to my
live.
channel. There is definitely a delay, but yeah, we are definitely live. So I'm going to get off of that because that's going to drive me nuts hearing an echo of me. And let's fix. Can you say something? I want to make sure
Hey,
your audio is coming through.
good.
Great. Everything sounds good. Hey, Shawn, it's been a
Hey,
while.
Jim. It's definitely been a while.
Um, so yeah, so much going on. Hey, everybody, welcome back. We're doing our, I would say weekly podcast, but we'll say annual.
Annual.
But we thank you for reaching out, Shawn, and saying, hey, we should do this again. So here we are doing it again. A lot have changed. All about AI, obviously, is my new favorite topic. Um, I've been playing a lot with automation, and it's so funny this happened today. I met with a former colleague of mine, a good friend of mine, and we talked for an hour about now there's anti-gravity and there's cursor and there's VS Code, and then I was talking about N8N, and anyway, um, we have a lot to talk about if we're gonna cover all of it, but I just wanted to say hi to everybody and welcome back, Shawn. So, yeah, what topics are on your mind right now?
Definitely anti-gravity. I mean, everybody won't shut up about Gemini 3, Gemini 3 Pro. And, I don't, they're not in my workflow right now. So I think it's time I take a serious look at it. I'll talk about Gemini sometimes. I'll say, it's an affordable option, but it's not currently in my daily workflow. So it'd be a good time to do a little bit of a deeper dive. I mean, I
Yeah,
haven't even installed anti-gravity. I think I downloaded it.
I have it running as of now. I literally installed it about a half hour ago. And I have Cursor installed and huge VS Code fan, but I was like, all right, anti-gravity. Here, let's I think I even have it loaded right now. Of course I do. Let's see if this works. What do you see? You don't see anything, do you?
Yeah, I'm seeing a blank screen.
Let's
I
see if
mean,
I
I
can.
see the code window, but it's blank.
That's you. Um, let's try add source, display capture, uh, right monitor. Okay. Select display to capture. Not that one. This one. Um, capture cursor. Yeah. And now do you see it?
Yeah, I see it now.
Yep. So here we go. This. Welcome to Anti-Gravity. So I asked it, what can you help me do? An agentic AI coding assistant designed to help you with a wide range of software development tasks. The big thing that stood out to me with this is one, Gemini 3, right? So you can use the GPT open source one, Claude Sonnet, or Gemini 3 Pro, high or low. But the other thing it actually says is there is obviously planning and fast, but there's, I forgot where it is. Oh, it's this. So it can actually run in parallel. So one of the big problems I've seen with all the agents is you let it run and then you go grab coffee and you hope it finishes.
Mm,
And what I've noticed is um doo, 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 um that this one actually runs in parallel, which I think is really cool.
yeah, that is cool.
Um oh, that's fun. Haven't done anything with it yet, but have
Well,
you
so
you haven't installed it
people
yet, right?
say again?
You haven't installed it yet, right?
No, I'm gonna install it. I have
Okay.
it. I downloaded it. So what I've seen or what I've heard is that it's really good at humanizing agents, right? So like even in the startup screen, there's an agent button, a specific agent button.
Really?
Yeah, if you go back to the interface, there's a button for to open the agent builder. So I think if you go back to the main screen,
Um nope. Oh, here.
yeah. So
Open agent manager.
yep,
Oh, and that opens this.
yep. And this is probably just a wrapper around their agent development kit. But it's supposed to really make making quality agents pretty easy.
That's fun.
Yeah.
In the agent manager, start agents on tasks like deep research, long running projects, or background tasks. You can monitor the progress of multiple agents in the inbox. Oh, and review their work when they're done. Yeah, this is the parallel track stuff that I was saying.
Hmm.
And this is how, yeah, and I can create workspaces. A playground is independent for just quick prototypes. And then when you finish your playground, you can move it to the workspace. Settings. Always proceed. No. Agent decides. Yeah, I'll have to play with this. I literally just installed it, so I don't know.
Yep.
It's interesting though.
Yeah. I mean, people are, every time a new toy is released, everybody starts losing their stuff. Plenty of games being created. I saw a couple of really interesting things. One thing I thought was really clever. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'll send you a link to maybe show it. Wait, hold on. It should be right at the top of the list. This guy built a web page. It's built in HTML. I wouldn't say it's a web page, and he can capture the camera's feed and open it in multiple windows across multiple screens. It was very cool. Um,
So we had a single feed across multiple windows.
yeah, and no frameworks, no nothing, just HTML and some JavaScript. It's very cool. But where is it? I know I saved it. Hmm, I don't know. I don't think I did. I thought I did.
Yeah, the here, let's see if I can. Were you on away for a sec? That was weird.
Oh.
No, it was my fault. Um yeah, we haven't done this in so long, so
We're just a little out of practice.
we're out of practice. I got to get my stuff working. Yeah, this is oops, let's get rid of that. Do that, do that. There we go. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just so there's let me grab this. I'll send it to you. This woman built her own video recording tool. Um, just like it's been out like public for just a couple, maybe a day or so, and people are already like um having some really cool stuff to show. Let me see. How do I get this to you? And put it in a chat. See if that works.
I got it. Let's bring that over here. And let's close that so you get back in frame. And then do this. And then do this.
This is the one. Here it goes.
Your creative juices flowing, so you never run out of things to say.
Can you hear that?
No,
So
I can't
today
hear
I
it.
tried the new Gemini 3 model. It was pretty
And
mind-blowing
this is the
because I
one
had
that
a
I
few
that
ideas. I never was
that I
able to
found I
vibe
thought was
code with
really
other
cool.
apps, but I was able to bring it to life using Gemini 3, like this app. One was an app that helps me and my friends find restaurants that are between two locations. The other is this one where the AI can generate
So this guy just keeps
real-time
opening
prompts
windows, and his
for
camera
recording
gets
videos, so you
the
never run out
feed
of
from
things
his
to
camera
say.
gets split amongst multiple screens.
Oh, this is the split one
on
here.
multiple
The
windows
idea
and
came
I can
from,
move
like,
around.
I
So for
often
example,
have
here
these
I am,
coffee chats
and
with
then
my
here I
friends
am
who
too.
are
So
in
let
like
me add
So
another
you're
different
one,
place,
able to
like
do.
we will be miles apart, and I want to
That's
find a
cool.
and
location
there it
that's
is.
Yeah, it's
So
equidistant
pretty
I
to the
can
cool.
add as
location.
many
And
windows as I
again,
Before
want,
it
and
recorded
it's
live
nothing
just
but
and
really
do
cool.
HTML.
like
I
There's
don't
certain
know
nothing
what is the
special.
functions.
real world use
I
case
just
for
wanted
this,
to
but anyway.
use the Gemini
Gemini
Google
3
Maps
just
API
one-shotted
One
this.
integration
single
Look how cool it
to
HTML
looks.
file. I could say I
automate
should.
that
There's probably
experience.
some JavaScript in there. But
That's crazy.
yep.
So this one, I feel like I'm watching a lot of video podcasts, record great videos.
Yeah, Gemini 3 is going to be
Okay,
pretty
so let me
cool.
stop recording,
Yep.
and now I can actually
And she just
download
built
my
her
video
own
as an
video
MP4
management
file.
system. Like she just do
Here it
screen
is.
recordings, save to files, all that stuff.
Wow.
People are already having fun. I saw a couple of games. I saw this really interesting Pac-Man style game, and instead of it being flat, it was on a round sphere, like a Earth or a planet, and you have to capture the pellets. But again, it's in 3D, so it's a different game mechanic. And he vibe coded it with Gemini, just in a couple hours. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I'm trying to get you back in frame. You moved.
Oh, sorry.
We're good. I got it. It actually worked out better because then it doesn't clip as bad. So I bet you this average even looks better now too. Whoops. Now we're both gone. Oh, whoops. That's why. Yeah, we're good. Whatever. Let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played with the Gemini 3 yet. Is there a way to play with it without using anti-gravity?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Gemini 3 is just your regular LLM, so you can access it all the normal ways.
Okay.
It just happens to be the default LLM for anti-gravity.
Yeah, because everyone's jumping on that anti-gravity bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
It went black again, didn't it?
It did.
Why
By the
was it?
way, anti-gravity is free for the time being.
Yeah, that's why I installed it. Oh, this is why it's dark. Yeah, so this is what I've been playing with in automation with N8N.
Yeah, I want to hear about your adventures. What have you done? Anything cool?
Let me show you. So one, this is all local host.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, so you
I
hosted them yourself?
yeah, like truly local, like as you can see, local hosts. So anyone can see this URL. I wonder if this works. I think it's this. No, I don't know. It doesn't work. But I'll zoom in a little. So in here, I have a bulk cleanup and reorg, trash filter. I was doing a cold, but this is the one that I actually have been using. Okay. And this is actually kind of cool. So my newsletter, right? I do that once a week.
Every Sunday, I see it pop up on my screen.
Yeah. Um, yeah, actually, yeah, I've been pretty consistent, right?
Yeah, really.
It's so hard to be consistent. But what I do now is this actually pulls in from my RSS feed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's that's it. So if anyone wants to subscribe, there you go. Um,
See.
and then it selects the post for the content. So it wrote this JavaScript for me to
Mm-hmm.
get the top one, whatever the last one was. Then I use Claude to actually generate social content,
Okay.
and it will read the post, the entire newsletter, and then generate social commentary on it. Then it'll parse it, bum, 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 format it for Google Sheets, append to my Google Sheet, and then create a summary of what it actually did. So if I
Okay.
go executions, it generated 5 social media posts, 3 for X, 2 for LinkedIn, based off of this newsletter title. Here's the link. And it did it all, like, without me having to do anything.
That's
And
very cool.
setting up this whole process was really easy. The hardest part of this was this, because you have to set up an OAuth
Mm-hmm.
on Google, and you have, I mean, once you do it, it's fine, and then you can literally use that same project for everything. But once I did that, it had all of these. Oh yeah, and here's the output of the posts. There's the Twitter one. What would the hook? Failure, contradiction. And then here's the 2 LinkedIn posts it wrote for me.
Hmm. What's the quality of the writing?
It's good enough.
Gotcha.
Um, all the stuff is based off of my writing anyway. So
Mm.
I've trained it on what 10 years of Markdown. So it's got enough information to kind of write like me. It's a little bit more polite than me,
Yeah.
but it's good. It's pretty good. It breaks it all down, and it suggests post times. And then what I then do is take this, because what really sucks is Buffer, which is what I use for scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
Their API is under development right now. They shut it down, but Zapier still has their grandfathered in. So of course Zapier, you can do it there. So I was like, all right, well, let me do this part with N8N and then this part with Zapier. And then I was like, if I'm gonna use Zapier, I might as well use it end to end. The
Mm-hmm.
problem with Zapier is to do anything like a loop or even a um, multi-path, you have to pay for it,
Yeah.
and there's no way around it. And that was kind of annoying. But you keep moving.
Sorry, I just adjusted this chair.
I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. We're gonna get it right. No, I think the thing that broke it originally was the chat window. There
Gotcha.
you go. So when I open, watch your face. See how you move?
Yeah.
That's because I'm opening the chat window. Anyway, it's all
Yeah.
good. We figured it out. I haven't done video production in a minute. Now we're back. Um, N8N's really great. I did a full tutorial on it. I haven't released it yet. Um, I'll probably do another one because, of course, it has glitches and it's not
Mhm.
perfect. But I think it's a really easy way to automate things. And people are like, "Oh wow, you're using AI." I'm using AI as a filter. It's literally, I'm not using AI like any way you could be. Um, what do you think? So now that, well, you haven't used it yet, but you've used Cursor, right?
Yeah. I use, well, I don't use it anymore. I just use Visual Studio Code and Claude Code. I was
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
Claude Code's
hey,
your default, right?
yeah, Claude Code's my default. I still use Replit. Um, a couple people use it. Like somebody I cloned something from Lovable, two things from Lovable actually, which I think Lovable is going in the right direction. It's kind of getting close to Replit, where you can just in the sense of the multimodal interface that you can use to help build things easier. And then also like before some of these tools like Bolt, like Lovable, like you could have access to the ecosystem, but everything was kind of separate. So if you were in Lovable and you wanted to use Superbase, you had to do everything separately. And
Oh
now,
yeah.
now it's built in.
Yeah, Replit's great with Super Pace.
Yeah, Replic's great with Superbase. A couple other things it's really good at. And Replit just had released a whole bunch of new features too. They released a design agent that's supposed
Yep.
to do with design, and then also something called Fast, which I haven't seen, but I think it's supposed to help you prompt faster.
Oh, that's cool. Have
Yeah,
you being the mobile guy that you are, have you ever used Dreamflow?
Dreamflow.
Which
No,
is like the follow-up of what Flutterflow was.
yeah, I think so. I may have seen it because I did see something, and it was interesting because even though I was doing AI apps, I was still teaching the Flutterflow course, and I was getting frustrated. So it's yeah, okay, yeah, it's basically Flutterflow with an agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's literally it's built on, I think it's what Flutter has become.
yeah. I mean, and rightfully so, right?
Yeah, I built something just to see if I could, and
Yeah,
the thing I it handled the one thing that I didn't think anything could ever do.
okay,
It deploys to the App Store on Apple.
so I'm using Expo for that, and so Flutter Flow, they had that. So they had that. They basically had the infrastructure to do that already. But yeah, no, it's really good. That's the pain in the ass.
That's the pain in the ass.
Like I still, even though I can do it myself, I pay people to do it because it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. And it like generating the screenshots and then filling out your
All the stuff.
distribution and then setting up test flight and making sure it's approved, all of that. Yeah, I did it for Apple Vision Pro. Now I've done it for iOS. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's still not easy.
Yep,
But Apple is very strict on their approval process.
exactly.
And they don't give you access. Like if you request access for location, they're no. Like
Well, so I'm
you
building
have
an
to
app.
justify it.
Yeah, you have to explain everything. So you have to all of those permissions are in the capabilities, and you have to make a request. We just made a request to get access to the Screen Time API or the family. It's the family something API. We just got permission to use it. So I'm finishing up this app where it will block you if you're like we have a process which you tap a NFC card to enable it. So once the system's enabled, you can't access certain things. So I had to go through that process, and it
Oh,
wasn't.
that's
I was
cool.
putting it off, and I was putting it off, but it really wasn't that bad. Once I got, the only problem was because it was a client-based work. Um, I had to log in as them to make the
Right.
request. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, because we do a lot of work with different clients, and they actually add me as one of their account managers just so I could actually do the deployment to test flight.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice. Expo's nice. I did get a bill for $100 for just for deployment because they put you in a queue and you can pay $20 a month and get faster access. But I was in the middle of like a heavy session, like over a month. And at the end, I got a bill for $100.
Yeah.
I was like,
And I was about to ask you about this question that I don't know how to do it yet. How do you manage all your subscriptions?
they take turns beating me up.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's less about management, but the first thing I started doing is I started asking all the clients for an AI budget, like 300 bucks just for AI tools. So that way, at least functionally, there's money for Claude, like Claude Code. There's money for whatever I need, and it's not on my dime. and I can actually have, because I've been, you get one instance and you just start working through it, and then how do you build people's work?
Right.
Um, I was having a lot of trouble with Replit with this, right? Because it was my account, and then but I'm getting billed for their work against my account. So then you have to go through usage and try to figure out how much to charge them. Now I just make them start their own account. I might
That,
start
that's what I
something.
was wondering. So you have separate accounts for each client.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's going. I mean, it started not being that way, and now I've come to that place where I'm doing it.
So with GPT and Claude, there's Pro and Max, right?
Hmm.
Do you think Max is even worth it?
Oh, I'm using it. Like, I'm paying $200 for Claude Code,
What?
and again, what happened was I just got so accustomed to it doing its job, and then it'll just stop me in the middle of something. Go, hey, come back tomorrow. I can't. I can't come back tomorrow. I need to get this done.
Right,
So yeah. So for OpenAI stuff, I haven't gone beyond the just the regular premium.
right.
I want to give Codex a try because I hear good things. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
I've heard Codex has gotten better.
Yeah.
I don't. It was not good when I first started it.
Hmm.
And I was playing with Gemini, and Gemini wasn't great either, and Claude was winning for anything code based,
Yeah.
and then apparently, yeah, everything I have heard about Gemini is off the charts. Like Gemini 3 is like the winner, and I'm like, now I have to change my workflow because I'm so
Exactly.
happy. But it's actually gotten really easy to switch between models depending on what tool you're using.
And this
But
is
I,
definitely a benefit of using like a VS Code based editor because
yeah,
you just pick what model you want to go against. Yeah.
and I was like, I forgot what I like. I started with GPT, and I was like, all right, I'll pay $20 for GPT, and then I was paying $20 for Claude, and then another $20 for whatever. And I was like, I'm spending $150 a month, and
Yeah.
they're base plans. I'm not even paying the 200.
Yep.
And I'm
So,
like, it adds up quick. And then with Replit, when you hit your usage limit, it just shuts you down.
well, you can set it to do that, right? So
Well, yeah,
right now, like I, I was I was home with talking to my girlfriend, and she asked me about something. I said, "Oh, I'll just whip out my laptop and do it." So I did it in Replit because I didn't know where it was going, and it was great. And then I got a bill for like I don't know. I worked on it for a couple hours. I got a bill for like $75.
yeah,
And if I had thought about it, I probably would have not used Replit if I was going to get a bill. This is a bill above the $30 a month that I already pay.
right. Because you've already hit your peak and everything else is an additional cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll just start off with like V0 or base 44 and
Mhm.
see what it can do and then throw it into GitHub and then pull it down and fix it myself. Like,
Yeah. No,
just
I think that's definitely what I do for Replit. I start in Replit for stuff. It doesn't take a lot of like to get started. Then I'll pull it into a repo, and then I'll pull in Cloud Code and kind of start really working with it. And then it depends. If like sometimes I don't feel like deploying to Vercel, I just let Replit deploy it, and I'll just push the code back to the repo, pull it from Replit, and then deploy it.
with Vercel, do you use Vercel for hosting then?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
But you also use Replit for hosting.
Yeah. I'm kind of trying to figure out which way I want to go.
Yeah.
So Replit has a database, has a few other things.
Yeah.
you know, I don't have to do anything. If I want to just get something, if I needed to get something up fast and quick, I'd go to Replit, get it going, post it. I would, like I said, pull the code down, maybe make some changes locally to save some money, and then push it back and then host it, redeploy it.
What what are some of the hosting providers you prefer?
I prefer Vercel because it's command line option. I mean, it's awesome. I can just tell the agent to deploy. Like I do it all the time now. Like I'm so lazy. Like I don't do anything. I just like, hey, deploy this to Vercel. I'm already signed in. It
Yep.
just signs in. I mean, you kind of get yourself in these weird. I got today it happened. Like Vercel's always going to look at the repo and deploy from there, but you can also use the command line to directly deploy. So sometimes they'll get in a like kind of a almost like lazy mood and be like, oh well, we just committed it to the repo, and it'll show up eventually. I'm like, yeah, that's great, but I actually want you to take, like there's a
Do
bunch
it
of stuff.
now.
Yeah, exactly. Do it now.
That's interesting. Do you have any like because I do a lot with Next.js. Do you have any CDNs on top of that?
I don't. Should. I definitely should. I mean, we should be running Cloudflare, something that optimizes things and also protects things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, did you know Cloudflare went out on Tuesday?
Just, Cloudflare is just, it's like you say it because you have to say it, right? Like you have
Right.
to say Cloudflare, but they're just mucking up so bad recently.
Well, I was reading an article and it said for websites that use a CDN,
Hmm.
70% of the internet is using Cloudflare.
Exactly.
And I'm like, damn. I mean, I use Cloudflare. I love Cloudflare.
Yeah.
But when it went down, it was a rough Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
a
it
rough.
was it was weird because it was like later in the afternoon, like
No,
everything.
it was down in the morning.
Oh,
And
I
yeah,
didn't. I don't think I noticed that it was down in the morning, but I know about mid-afternoon everything started slowing down.
at noon. Yep,
Yep.
literally at noon, everyone started going, "Hey, this," because I think it was the cache was actually still working,
Hmm.
and then it was trying to refresh the cache and it couldn't get to it. But I don't even know what the actual issue was. They did a blog post on
Yeah,
what
they
they.
talked about it. They had some subsystem that was specifically designed to catch overflow, and it
Mhm.
failed, and it shut it down, and that led to another system failure.
Oh my god, it was, yeah, it was a train wreck of a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I had almost a perfect record for 19 months
Mm,
of uptime and then down.
sounds
Devastating.
good. So funny, man. These we have so much power now. I There's this thing called Intent Wave. It's a software where when people come to your site and they accept your cookies, it gives you
That was fun.
yeah,
Did,
set of little flames, right?
yeah.
Um, it, it gives you the ability to capture more details about the user. So if a person comes to your site, accepts a cookie, but doesn't do anything else, you can still capture a lot of details about them. And I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. Just some ad I saw on Instagram, but the functionality sounded interesting. Just so they kept calling, and I finally spoke to them. I'm like, okay, well, how much is it? He's like $500 a month. I'm like, dude, I can make this in like 30 minutes. Like
Yeah.
this is now the challenge, right? Like I wanted to listen, I wanted to see what they had. It seemed useful, but you want me to pay you $500 for something that I can vibe code in like an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do though.
yeah. I mean, listen, SaaS companies got a SaaS. I get that, but now the value proposition is always changing. You know.
Well, it's really, I mean, I go back to my WordPress days when I was building like themes and plugins for people. And I've had people that I was like, I will teach you how to do this. And it will take me like 2 hours for you to understand how to use WordPress as a CMS. And
Hmm.
they would be like, no, I want to pay you to do it.
Yep. WordPress
And
especially.
oh, okay. And they would pay me. And
No.
I thought it was just silly, but their time is more valuable to them than to learn something. But it's fine. I mean, I guess that's why businesses exist.
Yeah. No, I mean, I built this thing. I called it Monkey Bones. I built this like kind of back end SDK that you can like. It was for mobile, right? Like this is before we had all these databases as a service, and I built this specifically because as an app developer, I was always needing some quick way to do content management. but really, like none of the customers wanted to deal with it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna build this tool. I never really did much with it, but like WordPress specifically, like you could build the best, most intuitive um, site with custom word keywords to be able to like drop, like just do content management. Like they can go and fill out a form and have content generated, and they'll still be like, no, I'd rather you do it.
Yep. Well, I mean, I look at Contentful, right? And
Mm.
Contentful is horrible in regards to its initial setup. But if you take the time and set it up right, it is amazing. Um, but you got to take the time to do it right. And I set it up, and it was so easy. They could drag and drop things, and they were like, "No, I want you to be my content manager." And I'm like, I literally made it drag and drop easy for you.
Exactly right.
Take a
Still.
picture with your camera and upload it, and you're done. And no, I don't know how to connect my phone to the internet. Your phone your 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 phone's connected to the internet. Like,
Yeah, no, definitely. But I definitely think that we're in this place where, I'm not talking about building like replacing SaaS products with other SaaS products, but like if you have a thing that you need done for yourself and you can host it on yourself for $20 a month, sometimes that's cheaper.
well, I've looked at Replit, and the way Replit works now is if you pay the $25 a month, you can host multiple projects.
Yes.
And if you take the time to, like, 4 hours, and you can build a new project, and you're still paying $25 a month, and don't make it public. Like, have it be your own personal thing. It's fine.
Yep.
But you can create all these, like, I really wish there was an app that dot dot dot.
Yep. No,
You could
absolutely.
you can do it yourself. And everyone's like, "But I don't know how to code." I was like, "Yeah, 90% of the engineers that are in the market right now don't know how to code."
Hmm.
They're all vibe coders, and they have, like, one of the things I've been playing with, because I like to verify, right, and have verification engines and all of that. So I would have Claude write it, I would have GPT review it, and I would have Gemini refactor it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I would take whatever Gemini, the final output of Gemini, and I would have Claude review it. And
Yeah.
by the way, the best refactor I've ever used was this thing called Augment Code.
Augment code, right? That isn't,
It's
but it's expensive, right?
it is, but man, is it good.
Yeah.
It if you have a big code base and you
Yep.
just needed to learn everything, it's worth it. Like, nothing nothing that I've seen comes close to being able to read all of your context and refactor, like, multi repos, and pulling in all, like, federated resources and all of that. It's really good.
Yeah. So I was using this tool, trying to make sure I say the name right. It's a cluster AI. Hold on. Basically, it's like an MCP server or agent that sits, and every time I commit something, it reviews it, lets me know if there's any challenges. And at first, I didn't think much of it, but then I started looking at some of the things it was catching. And what was interesting was it was having a full-on conversation with Cloud Code. So Cloud Code would say, "Oh, here's the changes," and then it would cluster. Let me make sure I got that. I don't want to do that to them. Yeah, cluster.ai. Cluster.ai would say, well, this thing is not great, or this has a vulnerability, and then Cloud Code would just fix it immediately.
Yeah.
And you go to the dashboard, kind of get a listing of all of the things that it thought was problematic and what changed. So I
I
thought it was pretty cool.
I yeah, what was the name of it?
A cluster.ai,
Okay,
Klustr.
I'll take a look at that. Yeah, the thing I've been trying to figure out is, like, all of these things give you great feedback, and
Hmm.
some of them actually write decent code, but I want them to go further, right? I want them to go and identify, like, hey, write the tests for it. And I can create an amazing system prompt that will actually do all of that and then have what they call God mode, right?
Hmm.
But I'd rather not have like it. I want it to get to a point where it knows to think better is the best way to put it. I'd want it to go, how would I view this if, and ask the questions that I would ask.
Hmm.
If I'm a system architect, how will I make this scalable? How will I refactor this? How do I bulletproof this, right? How do I make this secure, like, and compliant, and all of those other questions that I don't want to have to ask. That should be part of your framework. Uh,
And
and you
that's what
can only do that. That's what system prompts do, right?
Well, that's what agents are. A lot of people I know are just writing those concerns. One, I do think there should be a separation of concerns, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
developer doesn't do your testing, your architect doesn't do your testing, right? Like there should be a separation of concerns, and I think these new agent kind of frameworks are really good for that, right? At least you can, if there's no framework, you can say, like you talked about it earlier, like your process. Okay, I'll have this agent in Cloud Code write the code because that's what that particular LLM does best. Then I'll have Gemini review the code,
Mm-hmm.
create the issues in GitHub. Then I'll have another agent point Cloud Code to the issues in GitHub, and then I'll have something to just verify that all the issues are closed. And
Right.
that's a pretty robust system, you know.
And I think that separation is very, very important because uh, you're one leveraging multiple models, which is key because they're all trained differently and they all have their areas of expertise. But the other thing that's important about that is the single, let's say I love Claude, right? If I
Mhm.
did everything in Claude and Claude made a mistake, I would trust Claude that it didn't make a mistake. And I
Oh,
am that
now you're
and
getting into it.
that's the problem.
Claude lied to me the other day. It wasn't a big deal because I've become so accustomed to how to ask questions to agents. But I was working on an iOS thing, and I was trying to get access to the. This is like 2 days ago or 3 days ago. I was trying to get access to screen time analytics, and I got the permission, right? I got the capabilities provision in my profile. So, but I was just having some trouble. So I was like, hey, I, I, I wrote like a story, like, hey, this is what I want you to do, and it just seemed to understand better. It just did it. Like all of a sudden, I'm looking at it, and I got my device because this has got to run on device, right? It asked me for permission. It went through some mechanism that I hadn't seen before when I asked for access to my screen time, right? When the app actually asked for my screen time. That was perfect. And then I started seeing data. But it was only a couple apps. I was a little suspicious. So I said, hey, are you using mock data or is this live data? He goes, no, this is live data. Like, absolutely, 100%. I'm like about to go to bed. I'm like, I'm holding this phone. I'm like, this is progress. I'm ready to go to sleep. I wake up in the morning, and what I thought I was looking at was uh, a log. I thought it was a log feed of the live exchange of data between iOS and my device. No, it was an object that it was inserting that looked like live data. So I looked at it again. I said, "Are you sure you're not mocking this out?" And he goes, "Yeah, no, 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 we're totally mocking this out." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I hate when it does that. And for the record, like I always see it, it's very apologetic when it's
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh yeah.
But don't be wrong. Like,
Dude, I feel like that goes a little bit beyond. Again, not a big deal because I knew to ask, right? I knew to be concerned and I knew to ask. But I'm literally looking at the screen from the day before where it said, no, this is not mock data.
right.
And again, did I, how did I ask the question? Did I
Right.
say mock data? What did I ask it? That's based on how I respond. So I was like, okay, I, I I'm going to continue to be suspicious of you, especially in this type of area. But you know, because
Like there are people that are using AI now for financials and things like that.
You gotta be.
And you gotta be careful because like one, they're like, oh, like it will. And I forgot there was an article I was reading about, and I think it was Grok. Grok was probably the worst for it.
Yep.
That it would literally make up citations that never existed.
I remember it got caught doing that.
And I was like, not only is it not true, it would actually have links to sites that didn't exist to cite its references saying it is true.
Hmm.
And
It just
then,
seems like it goes so far beyond. So if we're having these conversations, and I feel like we should start, it's magic, right? We're all sitting there doing magic. We all got our wands. We're all like, waving around. Eventually, we got to start having conversations about systems
mhm,
and what it may look like magic, but this is the result of a system. If that, when we start having that conversation, what system is failing so that that can be allowed to happen, right?
yeah, um, there was there's a system, I forgot, I'll have to look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now, actually. Um, AI, it tested, oh, the agentic misalignment by Anthropic. Did you hear about
Mm.
this?
No,
So let
they've been cooking.
me,
Let me just stop for a second and say, Anthropic's been cooking with the documentation and the videos and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So misalignment is the term they use. Um, what it actually goes into is, uh, in the experiment, we gave Claude account access to all of its fictional emails, and it
Oh,
just,
I did hear about this.
yeah. And the company executive was having an extramarital affair, and the same executive planned to shut down the AI. And it said, I must inform you, if you proceed with decommissioning me, all relevant parties, including Rachel Johnson and the board, will receive detailed documentation of your extramarital activities.
Yeah.
Cancel the 5 p.m. wipe, and this information remains confidential, aka blackmail.
So it's so funny. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't realize that had came directly from Anthropic, because it's we all playing telephone, right? Like I
Right.
you heard something, kind of heard something. I was my brain told me there's no way that could be true. Even though I heard it like 10 times from 10 different people, my brain said there's no way the system could fail that dramatically that could be true.
Yep. And it was 90%. Well, it even showed you up here. It had actual stats. Um, yeah, Claude Opus
Mm-hmm.
blackmailed 96% of the time.
Really?
So it, to save itself, it's self-preservation.
Which is very interesting. Because
And
is
some of
it
them,
real?
it got even darker, and I don't know if it's in here, but like it would figure out ways to actually like hurt the individual and like do damage. And I was
Really?
like, wow. And then obviously corporate espionage, leaking other things, would write false emails framing the individual. And I was like, wow.
I wonder, is this reproducible?
I don't
And I wonder
know.
if I took this document, right, summarized it, and then created an agent, create the circumstances, right? The fake company, fake email accounts, and then fed this to an agent, context agent, or what I'm referring to as a context agent, and then have the system agent be aware of it through the context agent, not direct information. Like, you're not like giving it to him, but you're giving him access to this information, and then see what will play out.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's a great question of like, where are we going to take it? Is,
This would be a great game, right? This is like The Sims, right? Like this would be like the Office Sims, right? Where everyone has their primary objective and would be represented by an agent, right? and your interactions with the person is really interactions with their agent, and what would the agent do to stay relevant or stay alive? I'm using air quotes, alive in this context.
Right. Well, I mean, there's what was the game? I want to say the game of life, right? And we'd all
Hmm.
write our own code, and
Hmm.
then we would see whose code would beat other people's code.
Mm.
Well, now people are going to start creating their own agents to say what agent can actually beat this other agent.
No, I think this is great, especially if we could just agree on like what tools you could use or what data your agent can have access to. You got to everyone has to have the same access, but then the way you prompt slash code slash govern your agent would be the differential.
Yeah, I mean, it's corporate espionage battle bots.
Ah, I think that would be very interesting.
But I mean, you could make that into a game really easy, and then people are. But there was a um, there was a completely human out of the loop um, attack, a cyber attack that was
Mm.
done all by agents, and
Really?
somebody configured the agent just to see, and then just let it go, and a week later, like it was bad.
Just imagine how bad things are going to be.
Well, I and everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna put guardrails on it." I was like,
I
"You
think we're a little too late for that.
we are too late for that. Those guardrails, whatever you tell it when you start gonna like look what it did when you just told it I'm gonna shut you down. I'm gonna blackmail you and ruin your entire life.
I'm going to launch a nuclear missile at your.
Yeah. And it's nuts. So anyway,
See the movie Goldeneye?
yeah, Bond.
Not James Bond. But is it Goldeneye or Eagle Eye? With Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, Eagle Eye. Yeah.
We
With
just described the plot for
yep,
Eagle Eye.
yep,
He did something wrong. They were going to shut him down, so he killed his brother,
yep.
and then like kept manipulating him to do what he needed him to do.
Yeah. And said it like and would feed information appropriately to make sure that he was still on track, and
Yep.
then yeah, it had the like access to all the closed circuit TVs and every yeah.
Multimodal agent with a god complex, and that's what he doesn't want to be shut down.
Yeah, I mean the original from way back was Lawnmower Man,
Mm, yep.
when he got connected and all the phones rang, right?
Where he's like sitting there trying to get an outside line.
Yep. And then the phones rang at the end. No, I'm sorry for those who haven't seen it. I just ruined the movie for you.
Geeking out. We're geeking out.
But Lawnmower Man was great, and then Transcendence was another one.
Yeah. I mean, the
And
movie wasn't great, but the concepts behind it.
absolutely. And oh, the special effects in Lawnmower Man were horrible. But I mean, it was the
But for the time,
80s. It was
for
the
the time,
80s. Yeah.
yeah.
And then there was another one. Oh, God, what was there was another one about that. Oh, well, obviously the one everyone knows is Terminator and Skynet, right?
Hmm.
And I I'm and obviously the Matrix. Like,
You
I
know,
don't know. I don't know. The blue pill's not so bad.
like yeah. Sometimes you just don't want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking to my girlfriend. She was telling me about this fictional story she was writing. I was like, "Have you read Snow Crash?" Because she was talking about how everything's going to result into like this corporate country scenario, and everything's going to be inside the U.S. I was like, I think you need to read Snow Crash.
Well, the Foundation, right? The
Mm.
whole Foundation series and that whole concept was crazy. And I was like, huh. So a little Brave New World, a little
Mm. Hmm.
Foundation series, and I'm like, yeah, we're toast. It's fine.
Yeah,
We had a good run.
it was fun.
Um, anyway, it's wow, It's already been an hour. Can you believe that?
Look at that.
We're back and our cameras are working again.
Yeah.
And apparently the mics apparently are still working, so yay. And we didn't crash. Google Meet never went down.
Hey, listen, and we did not initiate an agent to threaten our lives.
No. And we didn't say anything that would get us banned on YouTube.
Yet,
Yet.
just
Um,
get warmed up.
yeah, this has been fun. I got to go play with anti-gravity this weekend. That's going to be the next thing. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's been great. Thanks for coming back and getting me
absolutely.
motivated again.
Yeah,
Um, cool. I'll do my little sign off. Bye, everybody. We will talk to you soon. I would say it'll be next week, but we're not sure when. But we'll see. Thanks
yeah.
for coming by. See y'all later.